Hi guys, Brittany here. So it turns out that my next therapy appointment is not until April 4th. So I just kind of wanted to touch base with y'all quick. I don't know how many of you actually watch this. I can think of a couple people that I know do. So that's about it. Um, so yes, I remember touching base last time on what was covered in therapy. Um, and I've been trying to be more conscious of my choices and not letting it just automatically happen. Like every morning I get up and part of my routine, besides cuddling the cats, because sometimes one, sometimes all four, depending on their mood, will come up and they'll give me cuddles and they'll purr and love on me and stuff like that. And I'll sit here, and our alarm goes off at 7:10, and he gets up, he gets the kids up and stuff like that, and I sit here because it takes me a bit to wake up, and I just kind of like lounge in bed under the blankets. Like I sit up to start waking up, but I sit under the blankets and like I'll check stuff on my phone real quick, and then I plug it back in for a few extra minutes while I get dressed and stuff like that, and then we start our day. I'm usually out of bed by like 7:26. I aim for that. No later than 7:30 because we have to leave our house by like 7:53. Um, so yes, anyway, I do my morning ritual and stuff like that. And before I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna wear what, Kenzie? I'm gonna wear this outfit tomorrow, and then like I'd be dead set on that, and I'd get upset if like it just wasn't feeling right when I put it on or something like that. And lately, I've been trying to be more conscious of not doing that. And I get up in the morning and I ask myself what I want to wear, and I follow that up in the same sentence. I don't like answer that one and then ask a second part question. I answer it. I put it all in one. Like, what do I want to wear? And am I choosing this because I see being female as a bad thing? And more and more lately, as you can probably see, I've been, you know, steering away from being a female as a bad thing because before last therapy session, like I said in my last video, I hadn't ever really put that connection together. And um this is almost as hard as when I texted my husband to tell him I was transgender. Um yeah, I've been noticing more and more that as I've been questioning that, like I haven't had to do as much the past couple days because it's like second nature. But I think that like everything was just getting to me emotionally, especially, with, being a parent, you get overwhelmed a lot. You okay? Cat's making faces at me. She's like, anyway. Um, yeah, and I'm not going back in the closet, um, because that would require me like lying and stuff like that. But while I do like some, like, okay, this is really hard to explain without coming across as like fake or something like that. That's why it's so hard. Like when I came out as transgender, I completely 100% believe that. And that's what I felt in my gut. And I didn't think any of my trauma from my past had anything to do with it. I didn't think that Robert had anything to do with it. I honestly never put two and two together. I didn't think that was, that was possible, I guess. And I know I said I was going to research, but I have the attention span of a newt. And I have discussed it with friends. I have been trying to do some research here and there, but not in that particular topic. And I've just been focusing on making choices that I don't feel forced into, because I don't think, not, I try to make choices, like I said, not because I feel forced to, or not because I should. I do them because they make me happy. I've been trying to be more conscious in my decisions overall, whether they have to do with clothing or otherwise. I've been trying to put more thought into things. And I don't mean in the overthinking things that I generally would do, but I'm trying not to like snap to conclusions and stuff like that. I'm trying to think, okay, am I hungry? Am I bored? Am I stressed? Things like that. And yeah, so I have come to the conclusion that I wasn't lying when I came out. Um, Not at all. Like, I wasn't trying to fool anyone. But since that therapy session, since I've been asking myself everything, um, I feel that I was trying to protect myself from something, and I maybe it's because of all the media and stuff like that. Like, I follow a lot of feminist pages and everything like that. Um, so I don't know. I'm gonna talk more about that with my therapist, but I've just been trying to really live my life as like me, um, like as my most authentic possible self, and it's been better and everything like that. Like, yeah, like please don't send me hate, guys, because I don't think I would be able to handle that. I know being on social media, it's bound to happen now and then, but I've been fairly lucky. I've been limited in the hate that I've got over the years through all my different blogs and stuff like that. But um, I just know that my true friends, my chosen family, are going to have my back 100%. I know that my son Ash is going to support me either way. He's always done that. Um, I'll snap him, and he's not afraid to tell me if I look amazing or something like that. Or, he supports me one way or the other. I know Isa, you know, she's got my back 100% and everything like that. She watches his videos, so thank you so much for being there and putting up with my random crap. It means a lot to me. And honestly, I think that's been a huge help in coming to terms with who I am. And I think therapy would be a lot rougher if I didn't have um, you to bounce things off of. And yes, that's a giant bear. His name's Ruby. Um, so yeah. Um, I obviously changed my YouTube name and stuff like that around already. I need to make a new banner. I made one and it said it was too small, so I'm gonna fight with that later. Obviously, I did my makeup today, and thankfully it's covering up. Like, you can't see it, but my cheeks are bright red right now, and they're on fire because like this is so hard for me to talk about and everything like that. And that's one thing we're working on therapy is being more vulnerable, and it is so unbelievably hard, but it needs to be done. I never learned how to deal with emotions. I never learned how to really be open. And I think talking to a camera and a bunch of strangers on the internet is clearly the way to go at first. So you get my ramblings. If you watch my videos, thank you. It means a lot to me. I never started this out. I don't hope to have like, oh my god, like 50,000 followers. I'm surprised I have like, I think I have 3. And it means the world to me. If I can help just a few people, if someone can relate to something I'm saying, then that means everything to me. So really, thank you. Moving on before I start crying, because I've been super sappy lately. Like, yesterday I sent Ash a text and stuff like that, and he said it made his day, and that made me super happy. But like, I've been super sappy and I don't know why. Like, that's not like what I'm used to, and I'm trying not to fight it because, that's what I was taught. But usually I'm only sappy when I've been drinking. Like, I've never been drunk, but I get flirty and sappy and lovey when I've had a couple and I'm kind of tipsy. So, like, I'm glad I can make Ash's day when I send him random lovey texts that, like, I don't talk to him much, but I love him and stuff like that, and I'm glad I can make his day. So, there's that. Um, and I'm getting more into the part, like, when I share this on Facebook, I'm gonna tag some people and cross my fingers that they actually watch this far. I might have to tell them to watch to 10 minutes. Anyway, um, change is like, it's ironic. I'm used to big changes and stuff like that. Like, change is what I do. I've lived in like 8 or 9 different states. I think it's eight. I'll do a video on that another time. But yes, I'm used to change and stuff like that. Like, and I'm used to being different. But when it comes to like more personal changes and how people perceive me, it's really, really hard. Like, I've always worn dark colors. I've always been on like the more goth side of things and everything. And I've always been anti feminine. Like, even when I tried in high school, it was like really bad. Like, you don't want to see the pictures of me attempting to play feminine because I thought I should. But um it's like really hard for me to change how I've done something for so long. Like, me and my mom haven't had the best relationship, and that's something we're talking about in therapy. And I had told my therapist that like I kind of get like angry jealous at mother daughter relationships I see on like TLC and like the weight loss shows and stuff like that, or like on Hoarding Burger Live, when they can bond over things or they can talk things out, because I don't know how. Like, that's just, there's this wall there, and I'm trying, like, longest time I had my mom as Babby J in my phone from Reba, from Barbara Jean, and I changed it to Mama Bear. And like, I'm not scared for people to see that because, she's my mom, but I'm scared to see it because at the same time, I don't want the, oh my God, and I don't want the overwhelming people pointing out that it's changed. I think that's my problem. It's not the change itself, it's when people point it out. I don't need people pointing out that I've changed something. Um, Unless it's like, a new haircut or something like that, and they're like saying, yeah, it's cool or something, that I don't mind. But when it's something majorly personal and emotional, then I kind of get bothered. Like, you don't need to say that I changed the name of the contact list. You don't need to say that, you're being more family like and stuff like that. Like, no, don't point out what I'm changing and stuff like that, because change like that is hard for me. Like, I keep saying, and like, therapy itself is pretty easy for me. Like, I think I got lucky. My therapist is awesome. She's super easy to talk to, and we can relate on some subjects. And it feels less like therapy at times and more like just a conversation, which I think is brilliant. So, the therapy itself, like, a lot of people struggle in therapy, and I don't, but it's outside of therapy that I struggle with. Like, I'm trying to live my most normal life possible. Like, I know normal is relative, but anything better than my emotional state or how I've dealt with things the past 29 years is normal to me. So, when people learn how to deal with things correctly as a child, I'm still learning that now. So, when you're learning it as a child, it's just like, you're learning, you don't overthink things. But now that I'm nearing 30 and I'm learning skills I should have learned as a child, it's like overwhelming because I'm changing 30 years of behavior. And I've done fairly well, and I still have my moments where I struggle, but I take a step back and I've really been trying. And yeah, so I'm crossing my fingers that therapy keeps going well and I can start improving relationships in my life, and I can, you know, focus on unlearning the misogynistic thoughts and tendencies that were drilled into my head as a child. Um, and with my extreme thoughts, I went, I'm trying to make the transition smoothly and gradually as opposed to jumping extremes like I'm used to, from hating my body and wanting to change everything about it to slowly accepting it, remembering that being female is not a bad thing. And, you know, liking certain things isn't bad. Acting a certain way isn't bad. I mean, unless you're hurting people, then it's bad. But not what I'm talking about. And, you know, proving that even though I'm female, that doesn't make me weak. Because subconsciously, and now that I'm aware of it consciously, I equated female being weak, which is really ass backwards because females, like, I even admit this, females are some of the strongest people I look up to. And yeah, I want to work on bettering myself and have my kids see that, especially my daughter. She's 4, she'll be 5 in July. I really want her to have a strong female in her life, not just like a role model from like movies or books or real life, but like her actual personal life. I want her to be able to look at me and see that I fought to accept who I am and that I overcame all this, so she can overcome anything because she is a small Elle Woods. She loves clothes, she loves pink, she loves glitter, she loves fashion, but she is smart as hell and quick. So I want her to see that I can overcome such a background. Like, she doesn't know details, but I want to know that, you know, despite the fact that I had a tough childhood and it affected me deeply and emotionally, and I'm gonna be healing from it for a long time. That she can overcome anything, and she's strong enough, and she's a badass little princess warrior, and all that other good stuff. So, yes. In summary, I realized that, again, so hard. God, I hate being vulnerable. That I'm really not transgender. Um, it was a way of me putting up a wall and thinking that being a female was a bad thing and being male would be better. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna work my best to better my life and just keep living it day to day because that's all I really can do. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching for these whole 18 minutes, and I hope you continue watching.